Hello, Pakistan!
Assalamu alaikum, Pakistan was the thing that we decided. Also, assalamu alaikum, all of the Europe.
Well, assalamu alaikum, Germany.
Well, United Kingdom.
Well, Afghanistan.
United States and everyone around the world actually who is tuned into PTV World and are watching well this morning with the very super energetic Shahzad Khan and Shahzad Hashmi on a Monday morning.
Exactly, ladies and gentlemen, the date today is 4th of February 2019 and the temperature over here in Islamabad is 11 degrees centigrade.
We're loving it.
Yes, we are loving it, and I think at the same time, Shiza, you know, there's this one question which I wanted to ask you today. And there's a very vague reason why I'm asking this question. So what happens with me? What happens with me is that, you know, to be full of energy, it's very important that I sleep like on, you know, that my sleep routine is like proper. So, you know, today what happened with me was, and I woke up very scared, is because of the fact that I actually lied down while I was about to sleep. So I lie down straight onto the bed, and then, you know, so next morning when you wake up, so you really want to be in the same position where you slept, right? Where you left.
It's comfortable,
yeah, where you left. But unfortunately, I think that I was facing the other way around. One of my legs was actually down the bedside as well. And I got scared. I was like, did somebody come in my room last night?
Paranormal activity, maybe.
Yeah, what happened to me? So, you know, but then at the same time, I realized that, you know, we can say quite a lot about people's personalities.
Really?
And by just looking at how they sleep, because, you know, I've seen friends and people who actually sleep just like this. And they're going to
I'm one of them.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
And they wake up like that. So I think that those people are quite reserved, and then, you know, they're kind of introverts too as well.
Oh, yes, I do agree with both of them. But tell me some, you know, about the people maybe who sleep on the right, or maybe the people who actually often fall off bed while sleeping.
Well, I think people who actually fall off the bed often is because of the fact that they're not good friends with their wives and they push them from their beds as well. So, you know, this is one of the story. But for people who actually, you know, sleep on their right-hand side, sleeping on the right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, is actually a sunnah as well. And I tried it for a longer period of time, but then my shoulder started to hurt, so I actually had to move on to the left shoulder.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so whatever way you want to sleep, the only thing which we wanted to reiterate upon was to please make sure to sleep for 8 hours at least.
Absolutely. So we know, ladies and gentlemen, how Monday is so super boring. It's more like an ugly stepbrother of the other weekdays. But we're here to make your Monday mornings great.
Indeed.
So to begin with, let's take a look at the weather updates from around the country.
Because it's going to rain on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you better be prepared for it. Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Well, let's take a look. So mainly cold and dry weather expected in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. Foggy conditions likely in South Punjab and Upper Sindh during morning and night hours. Also, according to Met Office, continental air is prevailing over most parts of the country. That's just a basic update of the weather updates from around the country. But Shahzad has already told you, we are expecting a lot of rain and snowfall for the next 3 days.
Exactly. So, you know, please make sure that, you know, if you want to go outside, keep an umbrella with you, keep yourself warm, because we do not want anybody to fall sick. And then there's this viral going on these days as well. Everybody's coughing and sneezing.
Oh,
so for all those people who are actually sneezing or actually suffering from fever or flu, there's this one advice I would love to give to you people, and that is that not all the times that you see people have got the best immune systems in their body. So people who are actually suffering from flu, please make sure not to shake hands or hug anybody else. Please do not do that. Once you find you can do that, because the other person is going to get ill. Please.
Minimal physical contact, please. So what are we talking about today? Before we do actually introduce the topic, I have a little bit history to build up on. Thank you for my researchers for, you know, all the details. So basically, for centuries, a lot of people were into, you know, biking and whatnot, especially off-roading with their bicycles and all sorts of bikes. So, but there was no specific kind of bike for off-roading, especially in the mountainous regions and, you know, various terrains. It was in the 1896 that officially there was a specific kind of bike that you could use for off-roading, and there was a group called Buffalo Soldiers in Montana who sort of, you know, did an expedition from one place to another using those bikes. And then it was in the 1950s that this sport was actually taken internationally, officially, and there was a world championship for this.
Exactly, and other than that, ladies and gentlemen, now because Shiza wants to talk about all those global things which are out there as well, I want to talk about my own country. So, right when we actually got independent in 1947, we had a Pakistan Cycling Federation too as well, which is still in place, and I think that they're doing a great job. And they had this very amazing tour kind of thing, which was Pakistan Day Tour as well, and then you know, they used to take people and then they used to roam around. But now the question over here, ladies and gentlemen, is very simple, and that simple question is cycling and mountain biking the same? Or are there any differences? Well, these are the questions we'll be asking, you know, how adventurous does it get? how challenging does it get, and then how scary does it get at times, because they really do not ride their bikes on plain roads. It's like all hilly areas. It's all adventurous. So we have got a small video to share with you guys. Go ahead, take a look, and when you guys will come back, we'll do the introduction. Good morning.
Okay, well, this was great, I think, to begin with a small montage, of course.
Yeah.
But we have some amazing mountain bikers over here with us in the studio. Before that, I think you have something
Yeah,
to share.
I've got a very interesting story to share with people who are out there. So earlier, where I used to live in Islamabad, ladies and gentlemen, so Islamabad is actually developed in a way where within one sector we have a park as well.
Yeah.
So on every 14th of August, there was this, people who actually would get together, and then there was this cycling competition. And unfortunately, back then, I never had a mountain bike. I always wanted a mountain bike. I only had a BMX, because mountain bike, you can change gears, and, it can go faster and slower and lighter. So there's less effort on your legs too as well.
Right.
So I decided to compete in that event and with my BMX. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, that for all those people who think that they cannot afford a mountain bike, even a BMX can do wonders for you. All you have to do is that please make sure that you believe in yourself. And this is how we're actually going to start our day. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody, and we're very lucky that we've been joined with this person, and it's because of the fact that he's definitely a member of the MTB group as well. But other than that, he's actually represented Pakistan in China and other places over here within Pakistan as well. He's none other than Mr. Wasim Khan. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Han hao Nina.
Assalam. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's wonderful to have you. Cyclists, ladies and gentlemen, generally are very, well, I do not want to say that they're dry people, but I think that early in the morning, they're thinking about their bicycles. They're not thinking about being on the show as well.
We'll ask them.
Yeah, because this gentleman personally sleeps with his bicycle. I don't know why.
I've seen the picture, yes.
I cannot believe you actually mentioned that.
Why not? Why not? We would definitely want to mention all of those things where people can take inspiration from. Okay, alongside Mr. Wasim, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is a great guy himself because of the fact that, he, before even getting started with the show, said, I'm a little nervous. And I was like, okay, just chill. We are friends. We're going to have a good conversation. He's none other than Mr. Kamran Hashmi. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you very much. I'm very
Thank you very much for joining us. You're not feeling nervous anymore, right?
No, not at all.
Perfect. Take
all
a deep
good.
breath.
Perfect.
Relax. Yeah, that's cool. This is how you should do it. So alongside Mr. Kamran, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by somebody who's a filmmaker, he's a cyclist, he's an explorer. He's none other than Mr. Qasim Naz. Hello, welcome back. How are you?
Thank you, Shazad. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you very much. I like that smile. Very nice. I don't know why, but I am not able to figure it out whether it's a nice smile or a notorious smile. But we will, in a while. Last but not the least, ladies and gentlemen, it came to me as a surprise today when I actually walked into my studios, because this gentleman, I've seen him quite a lot of times working out in the gym. He doesn't really work out, but I think the most of the times I've met him is in the changing room. Probably he's coming, I'm going, things like that. And we never even shook hands. So today, I think, is the day where we open our windows to friendship, and he's none other than Mr. Umar Haroon. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello, and that's, I think, too much information, but thank you for that introduction.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's great to have you people back on the show as well. But I think I'm going to get my conversation started from Kamran over here. So Kamran, please let us know about MTB.
Okay, MTB is basically our small club for doing the off-road cycling.
Okay.
Cycling is not a new phenomena here for the people of Islamabad.
Exactly.
Right.
We have been cycling for so many times, and even proper organized group riding for past 10 years probably. But the main thing, it's not just roads. We have got Margala Hills right beside in our neighborhood. So back in the days, we used to go off the road just on the side tracks, the off-road tracks, on the base of the Margalas, on all same bikes. Same bikes we ride on the road.
Them,
Right.
But
So, okay, let me ask you a question, because this is for every layman out there, like me, because I'm not very,
Like us.
understanding in these terms, of course, in these terms. So, when you're talking about off-roading, or let's say mountain biking specifically, does that only mean that you're going to bike on the mountains or hills, or is that off-roading of any sort?
No, off-road is just riding anything other than the road.
Yeah.
So there are so
Other
many
than the road, okay.
there are so many trails on the side of the hills, on the parks. The parks are actually the great thing for mountain biking actually.
So saying that other than the road, does it entail footpaths in it too as well? Because Islamabad, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, is one of those cities where we've got biking lanes over here
Yeah.
as well. So even having biking lanes and then you guys deciding not to probably be
To
in
go
the
off-road.
lanes, you know, go off-roading. What are we doing over here?
Actually, the bike lanes are mostly part of the road that is reserved for the cycling,
Yeah.
bicycles. The footpaths are mostly for the people, pedestrians.
Well, it was
people
on
who ride.
a lighter side, but it's perfectly all right. Qasim bhai, what about you? Please explain about MTB.
MTB is basically mountain biking, and anyone can ride a bike. Even if you have a, like you said, even if you have a BMX, you can go outside and explore on your bike.
Yeah.
So it's not that like you need special training or special technique to ride a bike. So anyone can ride a bike.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is for everyone, and everybody can be a part of MTB too as well.
Yes.
What a great thing to start with. But let me move on to Umar over here.
Yeah.
So, Umar, you know, when I used to bicycle, and I think that I've been cycling for a longer period of time as well, there came a time when my family members actually started saying, "Kab tak cycle chalaoge na?" You know, so did you ever get to hear such a comment by anybody, "Ke yaar, bade ho gaye ho, koi aur kaam kar lo." You know,
It's-
something that sort.
It's actually pretty common because
Yeah.
when I came back after completing my master's, I started cycling again because of the influx of social media. I got introduced to the cycling groups and we
Yeah.
started our own as well. So initially I thought, going from one sector to the other would be quite an achievement for me.
Yeah.
And when I started cycling properly, my friends would be like, really? We used to cycle back in OA levels up, yeah, Zabana, like really you should consider marriage or maybe consider something else. Why
Yeah.
are you cycling? And when I told them, that my dad doesn't allow me to ride on a bike,
Yeah.
a motorbike is completely off limits, but I've been to Murray and back on a bicycle. He's like, that's fine.
Wow, sounds perfect. But okay, I think coming to Wasim over here, you happen to be a professional martial artist. You've represented Pakistan on international forums as well. But I do hear that there were certain times that you were selected for the national team. You were going to represent Pakistan in, other countries, but then you couldn't make it to the event. Why was that so? And do you feel like this specific, mountain biking especially, is sort of neglected over here in Pakistan? Because I do know a lot of people who are genuinely interested in doing this.
I would like to start off with clarifying that on international level, I only represented myself and my country, but in a touring way, not competitive. So I went to China, and coming back to mountain biking. So basically, there were twice when I tried to compete at international level in India, but there were some political reasons as well, and that is why I couldn't compete.
Okay.
There were some visa issues as well. You know how the relation is between Pakistan and India.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were supposed to file our request 25 days prior.
Okay.
But there was not enough time. I was basically training very hard. I had all the equipment and everything. But there were just lack of management
All right.
from
Okay.
PCF as well, Pakistan Cycling Federation. So that's why I couldn't go there.
And I think everybody, ladies and gentlemen, who's actually coming onto the show these days as well, we've had those footballers as well,
Yeah.
who, women footballers, they were on the show as well. They even had a few things to say about the federation. And I think that it is about high time that we need to pay attention to all of these youngsters, calling out for all those authorities who really need to be in place.
Right.
But now, before we move on with any other questions, there's this interesting story which I wanted to share. So
Okay, go
everybody
ahead.
actually has to share a story which is very interesting and relates to your bicycle, okay? Meanwhile, I'll share mine.
Okay, but before you share yours, I have a very small thing to tell you. For all the bike lovers out there, it is actually a thing, when Shahzad was mentioning about Wasim, that we saw a picture of him sleeping with a bike, Shahzad said that he sort of places his bike right outside the
Yeah,
window of his room
yeah,
where he's sleeping so he can
exactly.
look at it whenever he wakes up.
Because I just do
How
not,
crazy is
yeah,
that?
because I just do not trust anybody. There could be
Okay.
anybody touching my bike. So I do not want anybody touching my bike because
Okay.
I want to have this confidence. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, so the interesting story is, so when I was very young, we alhamdulillah happened to be 7 siblings. We
Wow,
only had
mashallah.
one bicycle and it was a BMX.
Okay.
So imagine everybody wants to ride a bicycle. We were all growing up. We had parks right in front of our house. So what we did was that our father came up with the idea that what we're going to do is that every kid is going to, ride the bicycle for 30 minutes,
Okay,
each.
perfect.
And then towards the end of the evening was my turn as well. So what happened was that, all my friends were riding and I asked my father, if he could actually ask my sister that I could ride a bike, and then he did that, and then he says that, okay, after 10 minutes you're supposed to return the bike.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I will. So when you were smaller, and then when you were growing up, there are these different things which go into your head. So right after 15 minutes, my sister actually started complaining to my father that he's not giving me the back bike.
It's been more than 10 minutes, man.
Yeah, so then what happened was my father called me, and he was all ready, all suited up, and he was going for a lunch somewhere. And then he said, Shazad, please give the bicycle back. And I was like, I'm not giving, whatever, how kids do. So what he did was he started running,
After you?
Yeah, he was chasing me, and I thought that I'm a bicycle man. I'm just going to, go away.
Right.
But it didn't happen. He dived onto me.
And caught you.
I fell. He fell over me. And his friend who was supposed to pick him up just came right in front of us. So my father just picked me up like this, threw me into the drawing room, and that bashing I got, ladies and gentlemen, I never ever asked for the bicycle again.
Wow, and I cannot actually imagine that, picking you up like that, because mashallah, you're such a big man.
Back then I was like smaller.
Okay, yeah. And since you've built up on, with Sachin, with crazy story actually, I have to ask all of you guys, a weird, a scary, a funny story that you've sort of encountered during your bicycling, on the mountains, off-roading, whenever.
Journey you were on.
Yeah. Any one of you to go first.
So I think we'll start from Umar. Umar has got something interesting to hear.
His face shows.
It's not exactly off-road, but the funny thing is that a few female colleagues of mine usually report cases of harassment. So, whenever we're discussing, who's been harassed the most, I'm usually telling them that in Islamabad, it's the other way around with cyclists. So, like, for example, one time I was riding with my friend for a simple, easy ride towards F7 Marcus. So we were just crossing St. Taurus, and both of us are on our bikes, and this guy comes up on a motorbike, and he looks at my friend and he says, "Mind na kare yaar, aap bahut khoobsurat lag rahe hain." And a second time, a friend and I are cycling on Margla Road, and 3 people on one motorbike come, and they look at my friend who's wearing shorts, and they're like, "Soneya, Coca-Cola pila."
Oh, wow, so that happens, imagine.
Yeah, which is why, I've got one more question to ask, but before that, Qasim bhai, what about you? Do you want to share anything interesting? Or you fell off, somebody stole your bike, something of that sort?
I have a few.
Okay, please go on.
The best one.
As you know, I am a national cyclist and I represent Islamabad, so I am usually going at an intense pace whenever I ride.
Okay.
So I am a lightweight climber, so I climb a lot in the Margalas and at Murray, and it happened to me a lot that I am going at my own pace, and I am like putting up like 98% of my efforts.
Right.
And then when I decide to just calm down and take my time, there are some animals or dogs that start to chase me, and I had to pull away. But so basically they just tire me up.
That's
I am already exhausted. Yes, it is
I
scary.
think
And your heart is at like 190 BPM, running at 190 BPM, and then there is an adrenaline rush on top
190
of it.
BPM is too much, bro.
And,
honestly.
Too much, bro.
Yeah.
Once I was going through expressway, so there were these guys, 3 sitting on a CD70 motorbike.
Yeah.
So they were like matching the speed with me, and they
Okay.
started to mimic me. So they were like doing like this, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Just imagine doing this on their motorbike.
Wow, that's cool.
That's funny as
yeah,
well.
but the one question which I wanted to ask was, so this is something which happened to me as well. So
Okay.
other day I left my home and I could see a woman riding a bike. And I think that I'm going to take pride in it that Pakistan as a society is progressing, and we're definitely developing to a level where we're liberating ourselves and the genders too over here within the country. So I so wanted to make a video of her so that I could actually post it and say it to people out there that it's safe for women to ride bikes and motorbikes and whatever they want to do in Pakistan. But then I didn't, because I thought that I haven't asked for the consent of the lady.
Right,
So
you did
I
the
think
right
it is
thing.
important. Do you think that it is important, even if it's done in a very positive manner? Anybody who wants to answer or add on, I think we'll move with you, Qasim.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Is it
Okay.
important to ask for permission or consent before
Yes,
you do?
definitely. You need to ask if you are posting, a women picture or video.
Right.
You need to ask permission. You
Yeah.
cannot
Or
post it
anyone's.
on social media. Yeah, anyone.
Okay. And I think it is important for people to understand too as well. So this, ladies and gentlemen, the situation is something which I created for my own self, so that I can educate you.
Well, that was perfect, actually. I did like the point. So moving on, yesterday I was discussing with some of my friends that I'm going to have mountain bikers on my show, and they have some question for starters,
Wow.
or for people who are aspiring to become mountain bikers, why I'm
Yeah.
always getting it wrong. So to begin with all of you, first of all, some top tips that you need to know before you begin doing this. important ones?
One.
I think I'll
The most
Okay, yeah,
important.
one
Yeah,
each.
go ahead.
Let's start with you.
Starting off with safety, we are always, there are no compromises on safety. So you have to get your helmet, you have to get your proper gears, and then you have to, focus on hydrating yourself as well.
Okay.
And after
Safety
that,
gear and hydration.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think, I'm sorry that I'll have to pause you over here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the pictures too as well where they've been riding. So meanwhile, they're going to give us advice.
Right.
We're actually going to see and look into the pictures whether they're following those advices or
Oh,
not. Okay,
smart.
so let's do that. Go ahead.
Like while you speak.
and after that, you have to know that what kind of bike you are looking for. So there are different kind of bikes,
Like this one?
hybrid bikes. This is the mountain bike. This is mine. Actually.
Okay, perfect.
So this is for complete off-roading. It doesn't go fast on roads.
Okay.
And after that, you have hybrids, which has like narrower tires than compared to MTB.
Yeah.
Which is basically designed to go on road as well as gravel road as well.
Okay. Very
So
nice.
that is faster, and you can get a bit of both.
So
road
safety
biking
is
as
something
well.
which we're getting from you, Kamran.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We actually ride in the groups, but if you are riding alone, it's better to have a ride buddy.
Right,
So
buddy?
it's not.
So don't go alone.
Yeah, it's better
For
to have
starters.
someone to.
I mean, for somebody who cannot ride for 10 minutes, how can he actually bear the burden of somebody else on his bike?
No,
Or
it's-
probably another
actually,
bike?
MTB buddies are actually quite good people.
Really?
Really?
They
Okay,
are quite
perfect.
supportive.
Okay.
So
Qasim.
have a company as well
Yeah.
with you if you're a starter. What about you?
I think safety comes first.
Safety is done. Safety is done. You have to come up with a newer one.
That's a tough one.
Okay, we will come back to you. Umar.
I think they've more or less covered it because the
Yes.
helmet has to be stressed enough.
Okay.
Like, again, because the thing is, a lot of people think we're wearing helmets as a sort of a fashion choice, because we've had people like coming down from Manal. One person actually fell down because a car hit him, and he woke up in the hospital. And the only reason he woke up was because he was wearing a helmet.
Oh, wow.
So that's something we keep
Lucky.
stressing because if we have newcomers coming for any of our rides, usually they're like, we'll bring the helmet next time. We just wanted to try it out. So
Oh,
Okay.
And
Also,
you
you
don't
need to
allow
be
them.
very careful
We
that
were
you
very
are
strict,
wearing
yes.
kneecaps and elbow
pads as well,
elbow
right.
pads as well.
Exactly, and I think it's very important. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll head out towards a short break. And when you guys will come back, there's this one thing which I wanted to ask, and that
Okay.
is, how do we actually educate the people who drive cars? Because this happened to me because I'm a biker myself. So what people do is that they really do not look in their left or right mirrors whenever they're probably turning, because bikes are not very visible into the mirrors too as well. So you really have to have an eye. But people do
Right.
not know how to behave when they're turning,
Reflective clothing.
and they really do not respect people on bikes or cycles or mountain bikes. What should we do
Does
about
that
it?
really happen?
Something which we'll ask our guests.
Perfect.
Let's take a break.
Perfect. Stay tuned. Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning with Shahzad Khan and Shiza Hashmi. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are learning how to bike. You know, especially not on the roads. So we have some amazing bikers ahead with us. And before we went out on a break, Shahzad actually sort of, came up with the point. And that was how people driving cars or other, vehicles on the road are so neglecting towards the bikers.
Yeah, exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, I've gone through this myself as well. And believe me, when, for example, all of a sudden a car just bumps right in front of you or probably taking a left and then they push you into the deep left corner, you feel like cracking their windows, There's this feeling which you get all of a sudden and you have to be very calm about it. And it's not their mistake because they're not being educated, I think, is the problem over here in Islamabad specifically. Right. Because people, once they get to know, I know that Islamabadi people, or people from the Twin Cities, they tend to learn.
Yeah.
But, how do you think that, there can be other ways to educate? Because all over the internet, when we see such videos, they just probably give them a punch into the window and just run away. But this is not the most fairest way as well. So what do we do to educate them?
Starting off with the traffic police, I think they should, before issuing the licenses, they should educate the people who are applying. That they have to respect other, persons on the road as well, starting off with the motorbikes, not just motorbikes, bicycles and every other vehicle on the road. So basically, we all have the right to share the road. Yeah. So sharing is caring.
Is caring.
Okay,
very nice. Come on, but do you want to add?
Actually,
because at the spot, I think we need to educate people, we need to stop them, tell them that,
Main thing is awareness. We have to raise awareness among the general public to drive carefully. And at the same time, actually, maybe Islamabad is a city where there are proper bike lanes. Cyclists are pretty safe, but still we have got accidents when a driver hits some cyclist or something like that. But still, we need awareness.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
We can raise it on social media. As Wasim said, traffic police can play their part as well.
Exactly.
Right, of course. So traffic police and social media. Moving on, what about you?
I think there should be a public service message on TVs and also on social media.
Exactly.
So this is very important because these days most of the people follow social media and TV.
Right, so much.
So so through the public service message, people will understand that this is very important to when you are driving, you need to be careful of the passengers.
Right, and even if they don't act upon it immediately, it is going to stay in their brains for a long time. They're going to retain some part of it. So maybe one day they are definitely going to take care of the people on the roads.
So very quickly, what we're going to do is, ladies and gentlemen, that before wrapping up this segment, I'm going to name a few places where they've been to.
Oh, okay.
And then they actually have to share one of the very most interesting or most adventurous or the most scary story from one of these places. Okay. So they've been to, ladies and gentlemen, this group has been to Saiful Muluk, Panchpir Rocks, Salt Range, Malam Jabba, Swat, Magla Hills, Kanpur. They've been to Murray. They've been back from Murray too as well, and that too is all off-roading.
Wow.
So, and I don't believe that that all of the rides have been smooth so far because there are challenges. So any one most interesting story you want to share, go ahead. Anybody who wants to say.
From these places.
Yeah.
Wow, such a great response.
I think everybody's thinking.
From Panchpir Rocks, I think you guys must have seen the place. They are actually beautiful rock structures. One of our riders, he actually, we were on the top and we were just starting the descent back down. So one of the riders, he was actually a kid. He is a younger of most of us. So he just shot away.
Right.
And we were just scared that he might hit someone, something. Because it's really very dangerous.
It's very steep, right?
Very steep and very dangerous, rocky structures.
Right.
So we were just praying that.
So worried about him. And did he make it though?
Yeah, he made it.
And he's safe.
He's actually quite experienced one. So
okay.
He's the youngest, and then he's quite experienced too as well. But thank you.
He actually managed to save himself because the gradient was too high. It was like 25%.
Okay.
Exactly.
And it was all rocky.
Okay.
So we got really scared because if he had to land on his bum, so it was gonna get quite injured, so quite badly.
Okay, but thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with us. It was lovely to have you, and we'll definitely have you back again as well. And we definitely wish you best of luck for your future endeavors. And we will, for once, inshallah, try to be with you on your bike ventures. Okay.
At the smallest one, though, because because
the
I don't have that
smallest
much.
one. Okay, but we'll definitely talk about it.
We actually have easy ride and tough ride
We
as well.
actually have a mega ride coming up this Tuesday.
Sure.
You're
Actually-
welcome to join us.
Which is tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, where is it?
And-
Let us know.
It's actually tomorrow we are gathering at 2 p.m. at Faisal Mosque.
Okay.
All the cyclists, everyone, kids, girls.
And anybody can join?
Yeah, anybody.
It's a
can join.
basic ride.
Every
so
every
it's not-
cyclist of the town will be gathering there.
Okay.
Oh,
And
perfect,
perfect.
can
2
bikes
p.m.
be allowed too as well, or bikes?
Yeah,
not
bikes.
So
Basically-
there are basically different kind
No,
of groups.
motorbikes are not
starting
allowed.
from
Yeah.
allowed? Okay.
there are different kind of groups like Critical Mass Islamabad, then there is MPBI, our group, and then there are roadies as well
Yeah.
who ride road bikes.
Okay.
So basically all kind of bikers
All
are
sorts.
basically
Everybody's
invited.
welcome.
Perfect, perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at Faisal Mosque, all sorts of bikers are gathering. And if you're interested, of course, you should go there because it's going to be a fun time.
Exactly. But ladies and gentlemen, we definitely have a pick of the day too as well. And for that, what we're going to do is that we're actually going to share a picture. This is a newer segment which we are initiating. And then we're going to share our thoughts. But today's picture is actually all about contentment and how happy you are from within. Let's take a look at this picture. It's going to make your day. Wow. So look at this. This is like, for me, selfie of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely. Love
Imagine,
it.
look at those
Absolutely.
kids, you know, they're not even wearing slippers, so they're using a slipper to actually pretend as if it's a selfie. Somebody took this picture. Look at the smiles on their faces. Doesn't really show that they really do not have all of those facilitations or probably things which they needed in life, you know. So for just a smile, they could use a chappal. They could use a
Definitely. And if
slipper.
I were to caption it, it would be happiness is priceless. I mean, it definitely shows. So if there's anything you need to add to this picture, please do write to us because we love hearing your opinions about
Exactly,
this.
that's what it is. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll head out towards our short break. Don't go anywhere because when we will come back, we will be joined by our lifestyle coach. Let's see what she has picked up for us today. I think it's
morning.
oranges.
Oh, probably. Let's see.
Do that.
Magla Hills, the heaven of Islamabad. The abode of God, a place where you can explore your soul and meet power of natural elegance of mountains. Spread over an area of 12,605 hectares, the Magla Range, the foothills of Himalayas, are youngest hills with an age of 5,000 years old. Magla Hills are home to around 600 plant species, 250 bird varieties, 38 mammals, and 13 species of reptiles. Magla Range is characterized by many valleys, scenic spots, and beautiful water streams, especially in the monsoon months. Famous for their tranquil environment and lush green natural splendor, Magla Hills are a particular source of pride, harmony, and spiritual solace. For the residents of Islamabad, many of whom make it a weekly ritual to scale the various trails to Damaneko and Pir Suhawa. Magla Hills send off its visitors with lasting trail of memories to relish in solitude and provide an escape from the relentless rhythm of life.
Welcome back once again, and we are all ready with our nutritionist, but what are we talking about?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are actually talking about oranges today. Yes, great source of vitamins as well, but to talk about that, our very own lifestyle coach is with us, Lubna Fraz. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hello, good morning. How are you guys? I love that you're holding the orange and the energy.
Came out of
I'm going to eat it now.
Are you going to eat it while I talk about it?
Yes, I'm going to eat it.
Okay, so I'm going to be sharing some really good, interesting facts about oranges and what their nutrition value is, what the benefits are. So I'm going to be talking about 7 interesting benefits about it. But before I start, Shahzad and Shahzad, do you know what country is actually the top producer of oranges?
Pakistan.
Now?
I'm going to believe it's Pakistan.
No, it's not
Pakistan.
Well, okay, well, it's
Now, however, it is native to Asia,
Okay.
but now it's not any Asian country is not the top producer anymore.
What?
The most top producer is Brazil.
Brazil?
we didn't know that.
Yeah, Brazil, and then followed by United States, and then China.
But we
and
have the best
then
oranges,
India and
I
Pakistan
get
come
bet.
in.
No matter what happens, you know, who is the, you know, exporter or importer or whatever, I'm still eating an orange.
The good ones.
All right, so on that note, let's start talking about what oranges are good for. So number 1, antioxidants. Now, oranges are amazing with antioxidants. They're packed with them. What antioxidants basically are, they're compounds that fight free radical damage in our cells. So anything with anti-aging and anti-wrinkles, all of that, any kind of stress that we have in our bodies and our cells, antioxidants take that away. And followed by oranges enhancing immunity. So we all know that vitamins are rich in vitamin C, but did you guys know that 163% of your daily value for vitamin C is actually in a normal orange like the one you're holding?
Wow.
So you're done with your intake of vitamin C.
when you just hold it.
No, when you eat it, when you finish eating it. So yes, what is good for vitamin C, it will, pneumonia was up on the rise in the past, so pneumonia will go down, malaria, diarrhea, obviously cold symptoms, so vitamin C is great for that. Your immune system will go up, so consume oranges daily. It will also fight cancer. In a recent study in Korea that was done, it showed that about 10% of breast cancer would decrease with an increase of orange intake or any kind of citrus fruit intakes, which was amazing. So now followed obviously by prostate and all the other cancers that are unfortunately out there, they do go down, so do consume vitamin C or oranges as well.
Can you even consume the seeds inside it?
You technically can, because if you chew it properly, obviously don't swallow them down, but if you bite them and they're easily
Well, I'm just
break but there's nothing like that, you can chew it. But yes, for kids and babies, obviously I guess you're trying to scare me because I was a kid at that time. But yes, you can chew it and it's fine. There's no harm in it.
Well, our producers just want to listen to you, Lubna, so no conversations go.
All right. So they're also rich in fiber. Now, the good thing about oranges is that about 17% of your daily intake of your fiber is also in a medium-sized orange. So fiber is the the compound that helps us make us feel full, make us stay away from our cravings. So you always want to take fruits and vegetables that have a lot of fiber in them if you're trying to fight your cravings and try to stay full throughout the day. It also improves your heart health. So we talk about LDL, which is the bad side of your cholesterol. So in a study that was done, for some people were supplemented with vitamin C in oranges, and for a period of over 12 weeks. And what happened was that their LDL actually went down by about, I believe, 27%. So you do want to use this if you are trying to watch out your cholesterol levels or anything like that. You want to, intake your oranges. It also boosts brain health. So we talk about dementia symptoms. We talk about Alzheimer's all the time. Vitamin C is great for that. Antioxidants are great for that. They help send signals to our brain to stay active and fight off that aging and those kind of free radicals that are in our system. Also, and of course, vitamin C is excellent for our skin. We all know this. It is the #1 ingredient in the skincare industry right now, in all the creams, all the serums, and for obviously the reason vitamin C helps with the collagen production, helps with glow of your skin. So it's amazing for it. You want to tighten your skin, you want to use vitamin C on your skin.
Wow, that's great. And ladies and gentlemen, continuing with oranges, so I think that we really need to have a comparison in between other fruits. For example, these days we've got pomegranates as well, and then bananas are always available throughout the year. So if we come down to the nutritional facts, which fruit do you think is one of the most superb and enriched with a lot of nutrition?
So all fruits are amazing, and that's why I always recommend that, whatever is in season, consume that, because that it's in season for a reason, And I always believe that God puts it in front of us so that we can consume it. That's the way I kind of look at it.
Right.
So oranges come in during the cold because that's when the flu season comes, that's when pneumonia comes in, and I was talking about that. So the vitamin C in oranges specifically help us fight off cold and pneumonia, malaria, and I believe diarrhea as well. These are things that usually happen to us in the winter months. So you want to consume whatever's in season. Of course, pomegranate is amazing as well. Pomegranate is my absolute favorite. So you want to find different ways to consume all of them together. What I personally like to do is make a good smoothie from it. And my vitamin C, so my vitamin C immune system smoothie basically is a bowl of spinach, so a cup of spinach, kiwi, which is
who
really
puts spinach right next to
I'm going to make it for you next time, okay?
Okay,
It's actually really, really good. So spinach, kiwi, which is even more richer in vitamin C than oranges. Oranges, and I'd like to add water in it, and that's pretty much it. And a banana, if I'm
no sugar, no nothing?
Nothing.
No milk?
Nothing, just water.
So
Plain
how can
water.
it be a smoothie if there's no milk in it?
See, that's a milkshake. A milkshake is the one that needs to have like some kind of milk in there. But a smoothie is not necessarily made with a milk. It can just be made with water, coconut water, nut milk, whatever you like. Smoothie is basically just a healthier way to consume your fruits. Now, you were talking about orange juice earlier. I do want to, let people know out there that whatever I just discussed is based on the actual orange, not orange juice. Because what happens with orange juice is that when they juice it out, they leave the pulp out of it. So then you're just left with the sugar and the fructose in it. So you.
Oh no, I was talking about the fresh orange juice. I never intake the boxed one.
Yeah, the boxed ones are super horrible. Stay away from those. Either eat your oranges or either make a smoothie with them or drink the freshly squeezed juice that has the pulp in it because you don't want to leave the, fiber out there because fiber basically does is that helps us absorb the sugar and, slow down that sugar intake in our body. But if you're having it without the pulp and stuff or you're just, drinking the water part of it, you're just giving yourself a sugar high.
Right.
So you want to either eat it, you want to make a smoothie out of it, or you want to have the freshly squeezed one.
Well, that's great. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, I think that culturally over here in Pakistan, so what we do is that whenever it's winters and whenever it's sunny, so I think everybody within the house, they get together, and then there's this kala namak, which we love a lot as well. It's I don't know what do we actually know it as in English, but I think it might be black salt, probably. Black salt, right? And it tastes quite amazing as well. But other than that, there's this one more use of orange peels as well.
Okay.
So in case if you never had a pepper spray right next to you, there's this one interesting thing which you can do with the oranges, ladies and gentlemen. If you think that you're in danger and if there's something or somebody who's actually going to bug you.
And you happen to have oranges.
Yeah, and if you happen to have oranges, so there's this one little thing, I don't know whether you'll be able to whether you'll be able to catch it or not, but there's this citrus release.
Oh, I saw
yes,
it.
True.
They can see that. God forbid if it goes into your eyes, you're cannot open up your eyes for another 3 minutes. So you can probably run away.
That's
with an orange. And this actually, it really works with cats.
Yeah.
They're really afraid of citrus peels, so like oranges or lemon and stuff like that. No, but like sometimes, they're bothering you. I have a cat, okay? And sometimes you want them to get away or you want them to like get away from your food.
Yeah.
So I was eating an orange and, I just put the peel in front of my cat and ran away.
Or probably cucumbers. Cucumbers, I think.
I believe cucumbers as well. But anything citrusy or like too watery, they run away from.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Wow, we didn't know that.
If you are scared of cats and you want them to be away from you,
exactly.
keep an orange with you.
And then, with oranges, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually form a web too as well. This is something which we used to do in our classrooms back in the school. These people don't know, we are a generation ahead or an older one as well. But thank you very much, Lubna, for being with us. It was lovely to have you. What are we going to be talking about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I want to talk about kiwi. So I know I touched on kiwi today, and I did mention that it has more vitamin C on it. So I'm going to be talking about kiwi.
And that tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely going to be on Wednesday. And it's because of the fact that tomorrow it will be Kashmir Solidarity Day, and we're going to observe it with full zeal and fervor. So for all those people who are out there, please make sure that you write to us on our Facebook page, which is with the name of
Well This Morning.
On Twitter.
Well This Morning without a G.
On Dailymotion and YouTube.
Well This Morning.
And this fabulous repeat is going to be at
5 past 11 p.m.
tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
Thank you very much.